Hi there! Welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making the most delicious maple cheesecake. It's creamy, it's lightly sweetened with a hint of beautiful Canadian maple syrup, and it's baked in a beautiful crumb of Biscoff cookies, walnuts or pecans, whatever your preference, and it comes together so easily just using the food processor. So let's get started. Before we get baking, I'll just quickly go over the ingredients with you. With any cheesecake, you have cream cheese. I have 3 blocks of cream cheese that I've allowed to come to room temperature. That's super important. If the cream cheese is too cold right out of the fridge, it won't whip up nice and creamy and fluffy for you. So try to leave it out on your counter for at least 2 hours. 4 eggs, maple syrup, of course, sugar, cornstarch or corn flour, whatever it's called in your neck of the woods, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, and some vanilla. So that's for the filling. And then for the crumb crust, you can use graham crackers, but I find that Biscoff is my new favorite thing to make crumb bases with. So I have 22 Biscoff cookies, just in the red package, and I have some nuts. You can use walnuts or pecans, and a little bit of butter. So I'll just clear this away and we'll get working on our crumb base. For the crumb base, as I mentioned, we have Biscoff cookies. I have about 175 grams or 22 Biscoff cookies. And I'm just going to maybe break them up a little bit so it's easier on the machine. They smell so good. I love the flavor of Biscoff. They're like a ginger snap. And just, sorry about the noise, just blitz that up until your cookies go into fine crumbs. Now I have my walnuts. You can use pecans if you like, whatever you like the flavor of. And just pulse that until your nuts are very small crumbs. You don't want them pulverized, but it's nice to know that there are some nuts in the crumb base. There. So that looks pretty good. Yeah, you can see the cookies are very fine crumb, and then there are some detectable pieces of nuts in there. So now we'll add our butter, and this is soft room temperature butter. Okay, so now you have a nice crumbly mixture with butter to hold everything together. So we're going to press this crumb mixture into a prepared springform pan. And by prepared, I mean we're going to bake this cheesecake in a bain-marie. So if you've made cheesecake before, you're probably familiar with that term. It's just a roasting pan or whatever kind of pan into which your springform pan will fit. You're going to fill that with some water. And I've made or tried to make my springform pan as waterproof as possible. I've wrapped it with 2 layers of foil, then a couple layers of plastic wrap, and then another layer of foil. And I've given it a good hug around the edges. And hopefully that will provide some insurance from the water potentially leaking through from the bain-marie into the springform pan. So we'll cross our fingers and hope that that works. It usually does. So we have our crumb base. Just gonna tip that into my springform pan. And hang on to this, you don't have to wash it out or anything. We're gonna mix up our cheesecake mixture in this. So put that back on the machine. Just carefully scrape any crumbs that are remaining on the blade. And I don't mind a few little crumbs in my cheesecake, but if that bothers you, you can certainly rinse this under a hot tap and clean off any of those crumbs. I don't think it's gonna be that much of a problem. So now we're going to just press this into the bottom of the pan. And the nice thing about this cheesecake, you don't really have to worry about getting the crust layer pushed up against the sides of the pan. This just goes in the bottom, the cheesecake right on top. So it's very easy and not too fiddly. So we'll just press this as firmly as you can. Sometimes clean hands are your best tool for this. You can also use a flat spatula. So that's all nicely pressed into the bottom of our springform pan. So now I'm going to just slide this into the fridge to chill for a little bit while we whip up our cheesecake filling. So I have 3 bricks of cream cheese, just plain cream cheese. I wouldn't use light cream cheese, use the full fat cream cheese. Just put that in the bowl of your food processor and add your sugar and your maple syrup. And now I'm using dark amber maple syrup. I find it has the most intense maple flavor, but whatever you have on hand will work. But if you have access to the dark kind, I recommend that. It's beautiful and flavorful. And then just blitz that up until it's smooth and creamy. See how beautiful and smooth and creamy that is? That's the consistency you get when you leave your cream cheese out to allow it to come to room temperature. Sometimes if it's too cold, you'll end up with a lumpy, bumpy mixture. This ensures that it's smooth and silky. And now we will add our cornstarch or corn flour, a little bit of apple cider vinegar, a little bit of vanilla, and I'm going to just blitz that in. And now we can start cracking in our eggs. And I like to crack my eggs into a separate little bowl before I put them into my mixture, just in case any sort of wayward shell falls into the mixture. It's easier to fish it out of a little bowl than it is cake batter. So just crack that into one of your little dishes, just one at a time. I also find it's good to have your eggs at room temperature too. They seem to whip up a little lighter and airier that way. There, that was 4 eggs. And now pulse that into the cream cheese mixture. And just in case anything has stuck to the sides of the bowl, let's give this a little scrape. You want a nice, creamy, homogeneous mixture. One more quick blitz. So our filling is done. Our crumb layer is all in the springform pan waiting for us in the fridge. And now we can preheat the oven to 325 Fahrenheit and we can prepare our bain marie. So I have a kettle filled with water on top of the stove. I'm going to boil that and preheat my oven. While the oven's coming up to temperature, the kettle will boil. Then we can pour our filling into our pan and we can let this gently bake. And I've taken my lovely crumb layer, crumb base layer out of the fridge. It's in a springform pan. And now we can pour our batter, cheesecake batter, into the pan, just gently. Scrape all that goodness out of the food processor bowl. So now I'm going to take my cheesecake and put it in my roasting pan. The easiest way to do this is to slide out your rack and put this in the oven before you ever think about picking up your boiling water and pouring it in. because it's very difficult to move a roasting tin of hot water. So just gently pour that in until you have about an inch of depth. And then slide that carefully into the oven and allow that to bake for about an hour. But depending on the heat of your oven, I would start checking it for doneness at about the 45-minute mark. And I should mention the purpose of a bain-marie, if you're not familiar with baking cheesecakes and why you would use a bain-marie. It just creates a nice, gentle form of cooking. The water regulates the temperature of the pan so you don't have any hot spots, and it allows the lovely cheesecake custard to set up more gently and evenly. So you get a nice smooth bake. So we'll let that bake for about an hour. Check it at the 45-minute mark, and we'll see how it's doing. Okay, let's check our cheesecake and see if it's ready. I think it is. It smells fantastic. Be very careful pulling your rack out with that hot water. And it is done when it's still got a little bit of a wobble to it. So I left that in for about 50 minutes, and I think that's perfect. This can be unwrapped from its foil and just let it cool completely. So now the hard part, we have to let this cool completely, and then we have to refrigerate it for 4 hours before we attempt to remove the springform pan. So this is a great dessert for making in advance of a Christmas party or your holiday dinner, because it can sit in the fridge for a day or two before you put a knife around it and release the springform. So I'm gonna let this cool, put it in the fridge, and maybe tomorrow morning I will show you what it looks like, and we'll see what it tastes like too. Our maple cheesecake has been chilling in the fridge overnight, and now it's time to take it out of its pan. So I'll take off the foil, and you can see through the chilling process that the cheesecake has sort of shrunken back from the sides of the springform pan. But I'm just going to, just for insurance purposes, just glide a dull knife around the edge, just to make sure that's going to come out okay. And take that off. Yeah, came off very easily. And if you don't like that metal base, you can try and work that off with a spatula, but I don't know, I don't want to risk damaging this beautiful cake, so I think I'll just leave it on the pan base and then put it on this pretty platter. And if you want to decorate this cake, it is simply decorated by pouring a little dark maple syrup over the top. You can do this now over the whole cake if you plan to serve it right away at a dinner party, or you can just cut slices, wedges, put it on a little plate and decorate your wedge that way. I think I'm going to just pour some over the top right now. My little pitcher is not really behaving all that well, but I think it's nice just to have a little bit of maple syrup over the top and then tilt it around so it covers the whole cheesecake. And the other thing you can do with this cake to decorate it, you could shave some chocolate over the top. You could also put a few Biscoff cookie crumbs on top. I kind of like it unadorned like that. Just a simple drizzle of maple syrup. Let's cut into it and see what it looks like. it's good to have a little paper towel nearby or a tea towel to clean off your knife so that you have nice clean cuts. I'll swing it around here so. There. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful cheesecake. Just pick this up and show you the inside. See, it's very, very rich, very creamy. I'm going to pour just a little bit more maple syrup over the top. Just a touch, just to accent everything. And now, let's see what it tastes like. You have that lovely Biscoff cookie base with a few walnuts ground into that. You can use pecans too, they're very nice. But this is just a nice, easy cheesecake for serving over the holidays. Perfection. So creamy. The maple flavor goes so nicely with the Biscoff base. And as I said when we were baking this, you could use ginger snaps, you could use digestive biscuits. This recipe I've adapted from one that came from a Nigella Lawson book. She uses digestive biscuits. They're nice, but I find that cheesecake really needs a little bit of oomph from some ginger or something flavorful in the base. So I hope you give this recipe a try. Super easy. Everything goes together in the food processor. And if you have some cookies in the cupboard, some cream cheese in the fridge, some eggs, you're just an hour away from cheesecake. I hope you like this recipe. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. I also would like to thank everyone who's subscribed to my channel and those of you who watch and make such lovely comments. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a great week, and please let me know what you're doing to get ready for the holidays. Do you have any family gatherings planned? Are you making family recipes, traditional recipes? I'd love to hear all about them. So look forward to hearing from you soon. Bye for now.